AITA for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after finding out only our side of the family had to pay to attend. My younger sister, Katie, 28, and her partner, Chris, 29, are getting married in Dubai. She has always wanted an extravagant wedding and went all out. It's a 4-day celebration. There are 70 guests, but they demanded that we, my husband, my parents, and myself, as the maid of honor, stay in the exact same luxury hotel as them. Between flights and the hotel, it's costing us over £2,900 per person. They make very good money. Katie earns £88,000 a year, and she is the lower earner. However, 6 months ago, they came to us asking to borrow money, £17,000 in total. They swore it was a short-term loan because the venue in Dubai had suddenly jacked up the price, and if they didn't pay, they'd lose everything. We believed them. I loaned them £7,000, and my parents provided the other £10,000. Recently, I found out the truth through a third party. The £17,000 was never for the venue. It was to pay for the flights and hotel for Chris's entire family, his parents, his 2 brothers, and his nephew, because they saw the costs, refused to pay, and said they wouldn't go. When I confronted Katie, she confirmed it. My first question was obvious. If you had the money to pay for his family's trip, why not ours? Her answer was, because you guys can actually afford it. She got incredibly defensive, but when I asked why she lied about the venue issue if she truly thought her decision was fair, she had no answer. My parents are deeply disappointed by the lie, but they decided to attend anyway. I, on the other hand, backed out of the trip. I feel like they are taking advantage of my parents. If they couldn't afford to pay for both families, they should have just paid for the 4 parents, or for no one at all, but they should have never scammed us with lies. Now Katie and Chris won't stop calling me, saying I'm selfish and ruining their big day. Note: fortunately, my husband's brother is a lawyer and had us sign a strict 12-month repayment contract before handing over the cash. I didn't want to demand the immediate return of the £7,000 before the wedding because I didn't want to completely destroy their event weeks before, but the anger is eating me alive. I think Chris comes from a very poor background and is embarrassed for anyone to know, but his past trauma doesn't justify sticking us with a £3K per person bill while we secretly finance his guests. Update. In the end, I didn't go to the wedding. The harassment from Katie and Chris was nonstop until a few days before they were due to fly out, when I received a violent voicemail from my sister. She was clearly drunk. She screamed that if I didn't go, I was no longer her sister, that I was embarrassing everyone, and most shockingly, she said that if I didn't attend, they wouldn't pay back a single penny of the loan to my parents or me. She claimed she would say it was a gift, that I had forged the contract, and that I'd have to take her to court if I ever wanted to see my money again. I found it so utterly disgusting that I played the audio for my parents. Upon hearing it, their eyes were open too, and with broken hearts, they decided to cancel their trip and skip the wedding entirely. Later, I heard through friends who actually attended that Katie and Chris were telling everyone in Dubai that I was a liar, that I had alienated my parents from her, and that we had gifted them the money only to demand they pay for our trip later. They used that as an excuse to claim they were the ones who had uninvited us. Final update. Once the date for the first loan repayment passed, we didn't receive a single word from them. My brother-in-law, the lawyer, took over the case. His attempts to reach them were ignored, except for an email from a supposedly fake law firm they sent, repeating that the money was a gift and that the contract was fraudulent. My brother-in-law's response was definitive. He forwarded them the voicemail where a drunk Katie was blackmailing me and sent a final demand notice completely voiding the installment plan. He demanded the full payment of the £17,000 within 30 days, or we would go straight to court. Magically, the full amount appeared in our bank accounts 5 days later. I know through our social circle that they are playing the victims to anyone who will listen, saying we clawed back our gift, out of nowhere, left them broke, and disowned them. It's devastating to know that I will never have a relationship with my sister again, but after seeing what she is capable of just to maintain appearances, I know perfectly well that none of this is my fault. What do you guys think? Was I too ruthless for canceling the trip and dragging the truth to light, or was it right to put a legal stop to a manipulative sister?